Hello, algebra students. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Glad you're here. Today's flip grade. Go answer the question. It's a lot of fun, and I would love to hear your answers and hear from you. Today's YouTube lesson you have already found if you're watching this video. At this point, you should pause the video and try to solve this problem right here, and then unpause and do the problem with me. So, this is what we did yesterday. We have 4x squared equals 2x. Remember, I want everything equal to 0. Equal to 0 makes things a lot easier. Once they're in factored form, I can use the zero product property. So, we are going to minus 2x from both sides. So I'll get 4x squared minus 2x equals 0. Beautiful. Now I have my beloved equals 0 that I wanted. Now what I have to do is I need to find the greatest common factor, the monomial greatest common factor, that I can pull out of this equation right here to put it in factored form. So, first I'm noticing that there is a 2 in both of these things. So that's good. That is good. And look at that. I'm also noticing that there is an x in both of these things. And I think that's as big as it gets. So let's try that. Let's try 2x. So we're going to take 2x out here. And let's see, if I pull a 2x out of here, 4 divided by 2 is 2. And x squared divided by x is x. Now let me double check. Here. If I distributed that, if I did 2x times 2x, I will get, I'll get 4x squared. So perfect. That's exactly what I want. And now if I pull a 2x out of 2x, well, I've pulled everything out. And all I'm left with is 1. And it's going to stay minus. This minus will stay here when we bring that down. Beautiful. So all of that is equal to 0. Awesome. And now you remember what to do. Anytime I have a polynomial in factored form, I can take the first chunk, set it equal to 0, or the second chunk equal to 0. So I will have 2x equal to 0, or 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Now we're running out of space, so let's take this up here. If I have 2x equal to 0, I need to divide by 2 on both sides, and I get that x is equal to 0. I don't really need to divide by 2 though, because you see, if 2 times something is 0, that something has to be 0. We already know that. So you can do that instead of dividing by 2. And now if we have 2x minus 1 equals 0, see, I'm going to add 1 on both sides. 2x equals 1. And then divide by 2 on both sides. And I get that x is equal to 1/2. Awesome. Do remember that you can check your work if you'd like. I am out of space, so I'm not going to. But remember that you can, just by taking these guys, plugging them in here for x, and seeing what you get. If you get 0, awesome, you were right. If you don't get 0, you've done something wrong. Then you should go back and check your work. Okay, but that is the entry task for today. Next, our learning target and our success criteria for today. The learning target says, I remember everything from the first half of Chapter 7. We are officially at the halfway point in Chapter 7. We have just finished 7.4, and after today we will move on to 7.5. But we are halfway through, which means it's time for a quiz. When we get back and we actually do this for real, we will have a quiz. Because you're home, I can't really give you a quiz, so you'll see what's happening today. So the learning target, I remember everything from the first half of chapter 7, and the success criteria is I can solve problems using all of the concepts from 7.1 through 7.4. All of the concepts. In fact, all. Oh, wow. That was interesting. All of the concepts. Important. Okay. So, how are you supposed to remember all those concepts that you're supposed to know? Well, you have them in your notes, but also I have compiled a nice list here for you. What have we done in chapter 7? We have added and subtracted polynomials. We have multiplied polynomials by foiling them and by distributing. That's with our trinomials and binomials. We learned some patterns. We learned the square of a binomial pattern and the sum and difference pattern. And then just recently we learned how to solve polynomials in factored form, and we have factored out a monomial. That's what we did in the entry task. Factored out a monomial to solve polynomials in factored form. All of these things, all of them, you should be able to do problems about all of these things, because we have. And if you've done all your homework, you've already done all of these things. So you should be able to do these things. Yes. Next, I'm going to show you examples from each section. Well, I'm going to show them to you. I'm not going to go through them or anything, because you can go back and watch the lesson from 7.1 if you'd like. So 7.1, adding and subtracting polynomials. There's an example. 7.2, here's an example of multiplying polynomials. 7.3, we got special products of polynomials. We have the square of the binomial and the sum and difference pattern. So those were the two patterns we saw from 7.3. You have examples of each of them. And lastly, solving polynomial equations in factored form from 7.4. This does not, so these examples, and I believe, it's on the next slide, about these examples. Those examples are definitely not exhaustive. What that means is that those examples do not include everything you need to remember from each section. So our quiz today, our quiz, when we get to it, will have more things on it than just those examples. Those examples are some for you to refresh, but they are not everything that you need to remember. Remember, the learning target and success criteria said that you can do problems using all of the concepts from 7.1 through 7.4. So please make sure you know how to do every problem on the practice quiz, and solutions will be posted as usual. Okay, so yes, so we are going to do a quiz today, a practice quiz. You can use your notes on it. You can, do whatever you want with it, right? I'm not there to grade it. If you want to actually quiz yourself, I would recommend doing it without notes and without the internet, or, with just a pen or just a pencil and a piece of paper and a calculator. I would recommend doing that to actually quiz yourself and see how much you understand. You want to use your notes? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because I'm not there to, this is all, we're all learning as we go with this school from home thing. If you have questions, remember to chat with Mrs. Dodge during her YouTube live stream, which is from 12 to 2 p.m. every weekday. Yesterday was weird. My internet was like, blah, 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 like my internet was freaking out. So, I was on from 1 to 2 yesterday instead of 12 to 2. I apologize for that. Today should be 12 to 2. My internet appears to be doing just fine. Yes. So email me, ask questions there. You can also comment directly on this video. I get a notification every time someone comments on these videos. So, if you have questions, you can comment there as well. Your homework, right? Homework, of course, none of this is required. I can't require anything of you during this time. But your homework is this practice quiz. Find the sum or difference, find the product, solve the equation. And this covers everything. Everything we have done from 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, and 7.4. So this is exhaustive. This practice quiz right here is everything you could possibly need to know for your quiz. So this practice quiz is exhaustive. The examples listed in the previous slides are not exhaustive. So that's all you're doing for today, is doing this practice quiz, reviewing everything that we have done. Solutions, of course, will be posted just as usual. And yeah, your launch for today comes from Anna Quindlin, and it says, the thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. I like this because it is really hard, but it is so amazing to give up on being perfect. The sooner you can do that, the better, because no one's perfect and it's not possible to be perfect. So the sooner you give up on that, the better. And begin the work of becoming yourself. You get to be whoever you want to be, not who your parents tell you need to be, or, I mean, follow their advice. I'm not telling you to disrespect your parents. Respect your parents. But, I mean, my mom, originally when I became a teacher, was like, when I was becoming a teacher, was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to be a teacher? And she told me all these reasons that, like, I might not want to be a teacher for legitimate reasons. But that doesn't mean that just because of those legitimate reasons, doesn't mean that I should just abandon my teaching dreams and go on to something else. So, heed your parents' advice. But being who you want to be, you don't have to be exactly who your parents want you to be. If your parents want you to be a doctor, respecting them doesn't mean that you become a doctor. It means that you listen to them and you love them. But you don't have to do what they want you to do when it comes to the rest of your life. Your friends, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your teachers, your mentors, your family friends, whoever, they don't get to tell you who you want to be and who you get to be. It is your life. And once you become an adult, no one can tell you. But of course, always respect your parents. Always. Always, always, always. Yes. So, be who you want to be. You get to decide that. Give up on being perfect and decide who you want to be. Not who society's idea of perfection is. Who do you want to be? Yes. And it is really hard, but it is really amazing. So, that is my encouragement to all of you. That is my launch for today. Take it with you as you go throughout your day. And yes, thanks for tuning in today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.